I get to say we're back, we're back, we're back. I need a new like opening phrase that I can start this podcast off with, right? Well, you know what? I'm just gonna start it as we're back. I got Vanna on the left, I got Trizzy on the left as well. Hip hop artist, entrepreneur,
Oh,
student. Yeah, how many more adjectives can I use to describe you?
man, I think you hit all of them on the head pretty much.
All right, and we're gonna get into all that. Hey, Vanna, what's going on?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good.
We really do need to come up with a nice catchphrase for this, eh?
Definitely, but you know what? A week has gone by. It's like it kind of flew. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And here we are, and I'm like, when I'm coming here, I'm like, wait, you know what? It's Tuesday. I'm on another podcast, right? And we're back in the community. Like I said, not even upcoming, hip hop artists, right? And the reason I was about to say upcoming, and I just remembered, is that he changed his name. Before he used to be Young Trizzy, and he's like, nah, forget that young stuff, right? It's just Trizzy, right?
100%.
But before we get into all that, as usual, I'm going to call out some events. And I'm going to start it off with Saturday, September 28th, Breathe and Believe. And this is a benefit for cystic fibrosis, right? Breathe and Believe. It's going to be held at the St. Hellenic Hall. And if you don't know, that's Southdale, for those of you that live in London. If you don't live in London, look it up, Southdale, just a little bit west of Southdale and Warncliffe. And cystic fibrosis is one of our great charities, right? Tickets are $60. Big shouts to Lady Al. She is the DJ, one of our foundational DJs, right, from the Barbados community. And I get to be on that event too, so me and Lady Al, September 28th, the Hellenic Community Center at Southdale. Tickets are $60. The dinner is at 6:30, but doors do open at 5:30, so come and support a great cause. Moving on to Sunday, September 29th, I want to say, and you know what? I want to say Black Creek Pioneer Village, but it's just Pioneer Village. And people, if you know where Black Creek Pioneer Village, this is the Toronto in me, because there used to be a Black Creek Pioneer, and there still is a Black Creek Pioneer Village in Toronto, but it's just Fanshawe Pioneer Village. Stories and Song with Denise Pelly, right? Once again, it's at the Pioneer Village, Sunday, September 29th from 2 p.m. And the cost is $20, right? So big shouts to Denise Pelly. And they had an event there a few months ago, and it was nice. Whenever Denise Pelly sings, it's just beautiful. We had her in the Essence and Culture Awards, so something else for you to support. Moving on to Saturday, October 19th. Big shouts to Dr. K. Naturopathy for All. Get your tickets early. And if you don't know what it's about, Naturopathy for All is a nonprofit that allows people that want to get naturopathic medicinal services, right? So if you believe in naturopathic medicine, natural medicine, as the name says, naturopathic, natural medicine, if you can't afford it, her nonprofit is set up so that people that are having financial difficulties can apply, and there you get to look at a naturopathic doctor, right? So that's Saturday, October 19th from 7:30 to 11:30 p.m. and it takes place at the Spear Room, and that's at Fleetway, Oxford. In case you know, that's Oxford and Wonderland area, Fleetway, Saturday, October 19th. Go and support. And then we get to Saturday, November 7th with the Tequila Expo. I don't have to say any more about that, so all you people that know what that's about, go and support. There's coming up as well, there is an event on September 12th, and this is in a few days, I should say. Mayor Josh Morgan is addressing homelessness and affordable housing, right? And this is at the Hilton Hotel, and it's a worldwide community event, right? So Mayor Josh Morgan addressing homelessness and affordable housing. Peebo Awards coming up on. The nominations are open for the Peebo Awards, right? Big shouts to all the Kitchener, Cambridge, and Waterloo crew. Big shouts to Mr. Hopton and everybody else, the Peebo board and committee. The 2024 PBO Excellence Award nominations are open. Categories: promoters, entertainers, athletes, business organizations. There's a number here, 548-994-7324, so that you can nominate, right? 548-994-7324. Look for the PBO Excellence Award nominations. They usually have a very heavy social media campaign, so that means they're on Facebook, that means they're on IG, and all that good stuff. And finally, again, I got to get back to, because of the support for the Fanshawe Pioneer Village and the church as well. Do remember September 29th, right? Now, did I get through everything? Yeah, I'm going to give myself, I actually got through it. And yep, I got one more.
And last but not least.
Last but not least, they're, and you know what? Big shouts to Liz O'Connell and Educate the Children, right? They do a wonderful job every year, and Educate the Children is a nonprofit that builds schools, and specifically they're building a school in Nigeria. They've been doing that for the last few years. Every year they do their annual fundraiser called Harvest of Hope. I get to be the DJ. It's hosted by... No, it's at St. Justin's Church. Let me get that first out of the way. St. Justin's Church. Doors open at 6:30 p.m. Right? What are the ticket prices?
6 p.m. Cocktails at 6 p.m.
Cocktails at 6 p.m. and
$80 tickets.
$80 tickets. But it's such a good cause, right? Like I said, Liz O'Connell, she was a vice principal at Laurier High School. She's currently retired. She does so much for the community as well, but this is for her school that she took on this project that she wanted to build schools, right, for kids, right? And she took on this project in Nigeria, and I've been doing this with her. I've been proud and to be associated with this and be the DJ for like the last few years, and it's just a great charity. So support all the things that we mentioned here. Our community organized and community minded, and we ask you to support, pick one and support. It's always great when you get out in your community, right? So got that, finally got that out of the way. Right? All the flyers will be showcased afterwards. You know, I got to get these cues. Big shouts to my team. They're always giving me all the cues. Got to say a big shout to somebody that's in the studio. Goes by the name of Jammin. Jammin has been one of the, and I'm not even going to say one of the key promoter of young black talent in London. If you're in that hip-hop R&B genre, you got to know Jammin, because for the last, I'm going to go back and say at least 15 years, because that's what I know. He's been out there, he's been pushing to get recognition at things like Forest City London Music Awards, and he's just been pushing to get artists recognized. He's been behind a few things, and he's also part of the Essence and Culture, because when we talked about music and getting our hip hop and R&B artists represented, the only thing I could think of is, you know what, I got to get Jammin because he's been on this, right? And he's also your manager, right?
Yeah.
Yes, he. All right. So, Trizzy.
Yes.
Welcome to the show again, bro.
Well, thank you so much for having me. It's a pleasure to be here and pleasure to meet you, Vanna, and speak to you once more. So.
Yeah. And I'm always trying, to talk to the young talent, right? It's just me, though. Trying to get that, do that OG thing, because we should be nurturing the talent. We should be recognizing the talent. We shouldn't be hating in any way, because their time is their time, and their time is a little different from my time. So I gotta try to understand a few things, and so I try to embrace.
We
right?
gotta get a whole podcast on you one day. If you're trying to do the OG thing, we gotta know about you first, Colin.
You know what? I was somewhere today, and they said the same thing. I gotta send a big shout out to Mystic Wisdom Bookstore, and we're gonna have them when we do the business aspect. They're a bookstore that just opened. They're only about 2 months. They're on Hamilton Road. No, sorry, Dundas.
Dundas, yeah,
I've
seen them.
They're on Dundas, and they've got a little podcast that they're going to do. So I'm big up Charles and the whole crew over there, right? But Trizzy,
Yes.
it's your time, right? And the first question that I can ask, and then I'm gonna let Vanna get away because she's got all the questions, right?
Not all the questions, but yeah,
You
for
got
sure,
all.
okay.
You don't have all the questions.
I got half the questions.
Half?
Yeah, we're co-hosting.
Is that what it is? I thought it meant that I talk for the first few minutes,
And I'll take over.
and then I let her take
That sounds
over and
good.
do what she does, right?
You're like, I did the intro. Now it's your turn.
Yes, it is. Give us a little intro about yourself. Tell us your background, and even go so far back because we had this joke in the studio when James said, tell us from when your grandfather met your grandmother and all that stuff, right? So, but yeah, take us back. Let us know.
All right. Well, yeah. So my name is Tristan Trizzy, Wanamaker, artist, born and raised in London. Lived here my whole life. Honestly, never been out of Canada, so that's definitely a bucket list thing for me. But yeah, the city is honestly my home. It's all I know, and I just hope to be a good representation for the youth and the art.
You are the youth.
Wait a minute. That's from where I'm sitting, right?
I mean, technically not.
All right. But from where I'm sitting, you are the youth, right? But I'm just gonna attribute that to age, right? So I'm gonna.
You're not young Trizzy anymore.
Right. But are you calling me youth? When
it's 2 years, 1 year, we could say it.
All right. A little bit more background, because I need to
What
know.
makes you special?
Whoa, that's the question right off.
Yeah, what makes you special? What do you want people to know you for?
Okay. Well, I mean, I guess one thing that stands out about me is I speak my truth. I'm not trying to put on an image. I'm just trying to give the people me, and just hope that sticks. With my life experience and just the things that I've been through, the lessons I've learned, the people I've been around. I want it to all reflect in the music in a positive way.
Okay.
Trying to be that, like, the truth in a world full of just. I feel like there's a lot of just a lot of. I gotta watch the word.
You gotta say BS.
A lot of BS.
Yeah.
There's a lot of BS, and I'm just trying to keep it real and positive.
On Real Talk, Straight Talk.
On Real Talk, Straight Talk, 100%.
But somebody can also say, well, what other artists are speaking is their truth, right?
Right.
You can also kind of say that, even though, Now, the truth in London, right, as opposed to other cities, and this is one of the things I'm thinking about, right? London is a little different. We don't have certain things happening in the city, at least not to as wide a scale as it is in other places. I'm not going to touch down on what it is, right? So when you have a London artist singing about certain things, right, and then you're trying to say, oh man, how can you sing about certain things or rap about certain things or expound on certain things when that's not your traditional lifestyle?
Yeah.
Is there a London sound, first of all?
I think there is definitely a London sound, and I think it speaks volume to the many cultures and many aspects of London. I think that whether because I guess going back to me, I come from a single family household. Like, my mom basically raised me on her own. My dad was incarcerated for the early years of my life. We still maintained a relationship and stuff, and they did their best to steer me in the right direction, but they also didn't like shy away from what they went through and whether it benefited them or didn't, and just tried to, I guess, on Real Talk, Straight Talk, they kept it real with me and just showed me that, you don't have to go the way that we all did. You don't have to, whether we grow up in not the best area or, we might not have the most resources, that doesn't mean we have to turn to other ways of life. There's a real way out of it, and you can be you and find success in that and not have to, I guess, conform to a specific.
I guess you're saying that they don't want you to go the full hood route, right? Yeah, you can say, like, it's real talk, right?
Yeah.
And, this is like, we're trying to embrace everything that our communities have, right? And whether our hoods are different from in a different perspective from others, there's still a hood mentality here, right? And there's things that that's common to every hood, right? And like you said, your father was incarcerated, your mom, you came up with your mom, you're a single family, you know, single, and but you still had your dad that you could talk to.
Yes.
And I'm just gonna go back so you know that your mom is white, your father is black, so
Yes.
you're mixed, right?
100%.
Do you feel mixed, or do you think, what do you think perception is when somebody looks at you?
I've definitely had to, I guess, argue my ethnicity. You'd say a couple times when I would say, yeah, I identify as black, or because yes, my father is South African, mother is white, so yes, I do have African blood in me, and you know what, but from the perception wise, you know, maybe my skin color might not be as, you know, a certain
Yeah.
way, or you know, hair and stuff. So there's definitely people look at me and they could like, I feel like people can tell I have something.
mix.
Yeah, there's something, but
They can't really tell. So it's like I'll go into the store and people ask me if I'm Muslim or if I'm Spanish or if I'm black or if I'm anything, and
then you start with the take a guess. You got 3 tries.
exactly. Or I say I'm South African, and they're like, really?
Yeah.
What? And then try to get into it. But yeah, I would say that.
How is it how would you look at it as a benefit, and how would you look at it as a disadvantage? Thank you, Vanna. Yeah, that's right.
I guess an advantage to it, I would say, would be it gives me an opportunity to, I guess, connect with more people, you know, just based on, you know, my roots, and people can, I guess, relate to what I go through and like my struggles and things like that. And there is benefit of it, like that's a benefit. And I guess a disadvantage of it would be, you know, just honestly, I can't really think of too many disadvantages off the top. It's never been something that's like held me back,
Yeah.
you know. If anything, it's just something that I'd want to advocate for, and I'd want to.
See, like the mix for me has been, you fit in everywhere, but you really don't fit in anywhere.
Yeah, that's where I'm
you
going to
know?
talk about the
Yeah.
disadvantage,
Yeah.
because I'd say a disadvantage is because people have to, when they look at you, they have to like, wait a minute, what is he, right?
Right.
You know, there's
Why
still
does it matter?
Yeah, no, but because as you know what, people
We're a
will.
community, yeah.
People will, right? People look and go, well, you know, and then we had a podcast like a few years back, and we talked about the biracial community, right? And you are biracial, right? And the different struggles that they go through, because there were times when the black community doesn't embrace the biracial community the way
Right.
they should,
Or vice
right?
versa, yeah.
And like in Tristan's case, like you said, he's got to go and go, wait, you know what? I'm black too.
Yeah.
So when he goes in and he goes and says, yeah, I'm black too, right?
I guess
So-
that'd be a disadvantage for sure. Yeah, having to, like you said, kind of going off of what you said, how it's like you fit in everywhere, but there's nowhere that's really yours. It's hard to find a balance between that, but
You ever define it in your music?
yes, I'd say a bit, yeah, with certain, like, trying to, whether I want to highlight certain subject matters and things like that. I also got to think about, you know, or especially even, like, using certain language and certain words in my music. You know, I've had to deal with the, can you say that, or are you sure, like, are you the most qualified to speak on certain things, you know, just based on how I look and stuff? Perception, right? But I think it really just gets down to, like, it's perception versus reality, right? Like, anybody can look a certain way, whether, like, hey, somebody who's white looks white, they could be more educated and more qualified to speak on black issues than some black people would be. You know what I mean? But who's to really argue that, you know?
Good.
And
Like-
on that note, is your music more experiential, or is it more like, yo, I've seen this, or I've seen my friends go through this, I'm gonna bring awareness to it, or like sing about it?
I would definitely say the latter. It's very like what I've gone through, and just kind of like taking the lessons, or what I've gone through, or people around me have gone through, and just taking that and giving what I like, speaking my truth, I guess. About it, you know,
Your perception of
100%.
like, yeah.
Because
Okay.
I might not need to. I don't think I need to necessarily go through something like
To talk about it.
firsthand to have an opinion about it, or to develop an understanding of it. You know,
Mm-hmm.
so.
Do you consider yourself an opinionated person? And if
An opinionated person.
and what
Okay.
and where is where are you?
I
where
like
do
to be. I wouldn't say I'm opinion based. I like to stay like very unbiased. I like to be very like factual, I guess you could say. But I'd say I have some. I'd say I have some hot takes for sure.
Okay.
What's the going to your music? Is there anything that sticks out that you said that, man, I gotta talk about this? This is one area that I really gotta delve into. Give me and if you have, give me the song. Give me some of the, give me some of the.
Could be a line, a
Give
song,
me
a
a
theme,
line.
anything.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I guess I think a theme is so my first project is called Level Up, and it's kind of a double entendre in a way because growing up I played a lot of video games, to be honest, and it was like, I guess in a way it was an outlet for me to like not have to run around and get into a whole lot of trouble or just to be in certain situations to have fun. But then it's a play on that because it's like, oh, leveling up in the game, it's like getting to that next step, but it also plays into where I'm trying to take it. I'm trying to like take it to that like next level, like not be complacent, like we can always grow further, whether it's mentally, whether it's physically, there's always
human
further
nature.
we can go, we can sow. That's
Yeah.
kind of where I see it. Yeah.
Okay. Sweet.
Okay, so since we're on that leveling, right?
Right.
Take me through young Trizzy to Trizzy. Yeah, that's where I want to go with that.
It's
Young
very
Trizzy, you had
different.
young Trizzy. Tell me the differences between young Trizzy and Trizzy.
Okay, so I guess Young Trizzy, that was a nickname. It was actually a nickname given to me by my dad, Young Trizzy. So I kind of always grew up. I was always, whether Tristan or Young Trizzy, that I guess Young Trizzy was me going through life. Not to say that I'm still super young. I still got a whole lot of life to live, but going through life as Young Trizzy, gaining those experiences, making relationships, things like that, gaining insight, and it kind of developed. I would say that kind of developed and fostered into what I do now. Like now it's Trizzy, and now I'm a lot more. I feel like back then it was very uncertain. Like I knew there's things that I'd want to do, but I could never really like commit to things. I always had these. I had a lot of cool ideas. I could do this. I'd love to do this, but it was like I could never really like lock in. But I feel like Trizzy now
You locked
knows
in.
where knows exactly where
He
he's
leveled
going.
up.
He knows exactly leveling up, and we know the level we're trying to get to.
Yeah, so now this is real talk, right? So
Right.
give me a young Trizzy thing that young Trizzy went through that Trizzy isn't gonna do.
You look back and you're like, oh
Yeah,
my God.
Yeah, I want to hear because this is real talk, right? And when we get into this space, you know what? We want
no judgment. There's no
we
judgment.
Want, forget the
But there really is no
we want the real. Yeah, we want the
The
real.
real. Trying to think of something that.
Could even
Never
be in
got
your
me
music
over.
or your life experience.
Okay. So, I mean, I guess relating it to the music, so Young Trizzy, my first ever show, I did the goodness gracious, the London Got Talent. Yes, so I did the London's Got Talent.
Oh
and,
man, so I'm gonna give a plug to London's Got Talent, right? Because Anne Marie
Yes.
and that whole team from Swim
most definitely.
have done a lot over the years. They have been at it for a long time. So once again, big shouts to Anne Marie and Swim and London's Got Talent. Yeah, you're a product of London's Got Talent.
100%.
So you know
I don't even think I wouldn't be sitting here if I didn't. That's where I met Jammin actually. So.
Once again, big shouts to James.
Big shout out to
James.
Jammin.
James is in the studio, and he's gonna kill me because I said James. I'm gonna slap it. So let me slap myself on the wrist right now. 1, 2, Jammin. Big shout.
Big
yeah.
shout out to Jammin.
Big shouts to Jammin. Right. London's Got Talent. Tell me about the whole experience of performing on London's Got Talent.
London's Got Talent. So originally, a woman named Amber, who actually goes way back with my mom. I was going to the YMCA, like, because they used to do this teen night or whatever, so the teenagers could get in for free on Fridays. There's a Circle K kind of right down the street. I actually met Amber there, spoke with her, and told her I did music and things like that. And she was like, "Oh, we're doing the London's Got Talent. You should come through for an audition or whatever." Gave me the details of it. So I went and did an audition. I think it went pretty well enough for them to call me back to come and do the actual show. So then I go do the actual show, and could have went better. I'm gonna be 100% honest. I had a song that I was working on, and I probably could have rehearsed it a bit more because about halfway through, I blanked. I blanked on stage in front of everybody, completely forgot, I literally brain fogged. Like I just didn't know. I was like, uh-oh. And I started freestyling.
That's real talent, though.
But
If
yeah, you
can
picked up
freestyle.
your yeah.
And it was ironic because I think one of the judges said something about one of the lines I freestyled, and I was like, man, I wasn't even supposed to say that.
Yeah,
So if I
yeah.
would have said what I wanted to say, but yeah, I guess that kind of plays into the whole level up. You know what I mean? Because I feel like now leveling up, like I know to rehearse more. You know what I mean? I know to figure out what I'm doing. You know?
Yeah.
Guess that.
Has that ever happened recently? Like you freeze? Or you get do you get nervous?
I definitely I'd say I get nervous, but
Okay.
I feel like I think it comes from a place of excitement and just wanting things to go well, you know? Not necessarily like, oh no, I don't want to do this, I can't do
Yeah.
this, because this is what I want to do, this is all I really see. So I think it's just a matter of keeping it oh, it's not really nerves, it's more just excitement and wanting it to go well. Trying to just mind switch it, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
For your what am I trying to say? Concerts, not concerts, but just you doing your thing in front of people.
Yeah.
I can't find the
Well,
word.
it is a concert.
A concert.
Concert,
Not
but like a show. Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you focus on your style and how you present yourself?
I would say so. Yes, I like to focus more. I like to keep it. I like to let the music speak for itself. To be
Okay.
honest, you know, because especially nowadays, it's very, especially with hip hop and rap. A lot of it is the image. You
Yeah.
know, a lot of it is the look, and it's.
Well, you look at ASAP and he's always got
Oh,
a new
yeah.
fit or something kind of funky that no one else is doing,
yeah,
right?
Especially even look at people like Playboy Cardi and all these the
Yeah.
opium stuff. How everybody's got a style and a swagger, but I feel like it's good to have a unique sense of style and a way to stand out, but at the same time don't let that get in the way of the art
What you're
and the
doing.
music, you know, because I feel like it's very easy to get lost in that.
Right.
It's like getting lost in the sauce, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But
You would never just rep your brand all the time, which is
yeah, which is the Run Up brand. If you want to talk about style, yeah, we got my own clothing brand. Me and the family. It's a brand. It's called Run Up. We got a website, runup.life, for anybody interested in some merch and stuff. But yeah, honestly, I would rather rep something that is close
Comes
to
from-
me,
exactly.
rather than go out and buy, go buy the next thing, go buy another tech fleece or something, you know what I mean?
yeah.
I'd rather rock something that means something to me, and I can promote that.
Right.
Right.
Where'd you come up with Run Up? Who came up with Run Up?
I did no, I'm just kidding. It was my stepdad actually. My stepdad Sonny. He came up with it. It's actually he was the one who came up with the brand. He presses all the shirts actually himself.
Nice.
And all of that stuff. He got the t-shirt press, all of that. Kind of brought his idea to life, and it kind of works out because me doing the music and stuff, I need some clothes to wear, you know what I mean? I can't be going out.
Yeah.
Stuff costs a lot of money, you know? So
I hear you.
Does the name mean anything? Because on your profile on Instagram you have Run Up Life. So what is that? What does Run Up Life mean?
Runup.life is the website. Runup.life.
Oh,
No.
okay, that's fair. But
I mean, I
is there
guess
a
it's
meaning?
more of a I think it's more of a. It has multiple meanings. I think it originates from I don't know if it's a Toronto thing or people would say yo, run up,
Yeah.
Okay,
run up,
okay,
and
okay.
whatever that means. So it kind of, in a way, we're trying to turn something that is it could be seen as a negative or derogatory to something
Somewhat
positive,
yeah.
So instead of we say oh, you run up on your dreams, you
Yeah,
run up on your
yeah,
goals,
no, I'm
anything
familiar
you're
with
doing,
that,
you
right.
anything
Nice.
you're doing, you elevate, you run up, you know what I
Yeah,
mean?
yeah, yeah.
Almost like level up, you know what I
Exactly.
mean? That's kind of that's the name of the game, just to keep progressing in whatever you do,
When did you decide you wanted to be a hip hop artist?
I would say a few years ago is when I started writing songs and actually, seeing it as something that I could do. But I'd say the last year or so is when I started actually going out, doing shows, and trying to get the Trizzy name out there,
So you really are an up and coming artist still, right?
Yeah.
Did you have in your younger self being an artist on a list or something? Were there other things that you wanted, you had aspirations to be?
I wanted to be a teacher. I remember that. I really wanted to be a teacher for like as long as I could remember, but school isn't really like. I like school and I like the environment and being around people and like.
I hate school.
But the workload and things like that, I don't think I'm really cut out for. So, but teaching people and helping people has always been, I've always loved being supportive, and just trying to just help people grow because I feel like that helps you grow too, So, yeah, I wanted to be a teacher for a really long time, and then I guess losing sight of that and starting to write and make music because I started as an outlet just to like going through things and writing and things like that, but then it kind of turned to me almost trying to like teach myself as I'm writing, kind of like be writing about like maybe something I'm going through, but then trying to add a positive spin on it, if like somebody were to listen to this, maybe be kind of going through it, they could maybe it's not maybe it's not so bad, maybe I can go out and do this, that's where, and I guess it kind of just all kind of comes full circle. I guess now I'm trying to, not to get all preachy, but like teaching the music,
Yeah.
Trying to move people.
If life is going great, does that stunt your music? It's like, I have nothing to sing about.
Yeah, I got nothing. I hear you.
I think it's like, I kind of think it kind of goes both ways because it's like, I feel like when I'm doing like the same thing over and over again, it's hard to find like motivation or inspiration, but just doing different things and staying like, I guess staying busy, staying productive, moving is probably the best motivation. But there have been times where I haven't been really doing anything and I wrote some of my favorite songs. And then there's times where a million things are happening at once and the only thing I can think of or focus on is writing. So it kind of goes both ways.
He's going to sing about Real Talk, Straight Talk next.
Yeah, we're gonna look out to Trizzy and say, hey, cut us her next demo.
He's like, no.
But
I got you.
I'm gonna go back to what you said when writing. I started writing as a release, right? And this is gonna be one of those real talk.
Let's get real.
This is one of
I can
those
already see where this is.
You already see where this is going. I gotta ask. I got to because, it's just I gotta give my people something to. Right?
Well, I'm actually genuinely interested.
Yeah, and it's genuinely interested to know like the frame of mind and what you were going through to make you start writing, right? And it's real talk, so you only got to say what you feel like saying. But I want to know what you were going through to say, okay, let me start writing, because you said the writing. You started writing first, and then you decide, hey, maybe I'll turn into being an artist, right? So it wasn't artist first; it was writing first, right? So
writing, okay. I'm gonna apologize in the beginning of my ramble a little bit, but yeah, it started, because I feel like, especially growing up, like single mom and things like that, not necessarily having like a father figure, it's hard to. You don't really get taught how to like. Sometimes it's hard to like speak, it's hard to like say how you feel, reach out for communication or reach out for support and things like that, or tell somebody you're going through things. I always found, especially when I first started writing, like it was a lot easier to just write down what I was going through and kind of make some sense out of everything that's going on here, putting it on a page and making sense of it. It kind of turned from that. It was a way for me to, because I felt like, maybe not everybody would understand, or I didn't want to be a burden on anybody else by being like, here's everything I'm going through. Yeah. It's so like, you know what I mean?
Emotional dumping.
Yeah. No, honestly. And then it kind of turned from it was a way to just communicate, I seen it as a way to communicate, and it kind of just trying to articulate what I'm thinking.
No, you're good.
But it kind of just turned from that into, I started really like getting enamored with like how I can communicate through like different words and rhyming and doing that. I've always listened to hip hop and rap, so like whenever I'd write, it would kind of almost be I'd write rhymes and I'd write little lines and things like that. So it kind of turned from that into me kind of falling in love with it, and then being like, maybe what I'm writing has some weight and some value, maybe like somebody else could hear this and it could actually, move them. So.
Yeah.
Man, I wish hip hop was around when I was like, because I'm gonna share the same story with him growing up and having stuff in your head, but I wasn't thinking, hey, maybe I should write this down. Jeez, I'm
Like,
telling
let me
you.
go play some basketball. I just threw it in there.
Yeah, let me go play. I was even, jeez, basketball was even. I started off, oh my gosh, I started off with soccer and cricket.
Oh, man.
Cricket.
Cricket. Oh, yeah,
Man,
you
that's-
Caribbean. You
that-
Caribbean.
that's a lost
That makes
yeah.
sense.
Actually, cricket was first. Cricket and soccer, and then I was playing soccer, and then dumbass me, right? Oh man, I know. Started playing soccer without my pads, right? So I'm playing soccer without my pads, and I got somebody studs me on my shin,
Oh.
right up and down, and that stuff took literally 2 months to heal.
This is why you write, and you don't.
No,
Exactly.
because first of all, it's in Jamaica, right?
Yeah.
And we weren't thinking like, it's not like, oh, run to the doctor and all
Yeah.
that stuff, right? I wasn't even saying anything, but the skin wouldn't heal. And here's the thing, right? Because I'm showering every day,
Right.
right?
Oh, so it's irritating.
So I got
or-
infected. Oh.
No, it didn't get
Okay.
infected. But what happens is, maybe I should have told somebody, and it would have been wrapped, right? Because when it gets wet, any scabbing
It's just
that the
gonna-
healing is
Right.
going to
Come off.
open up, right?
Yeah.
So the end result, when it finally did heal months later, I couldn't take anything rubbing on it. So there went the pad, and that's what got me into basketball, because you know what, right?
You ever jam your finger?
Huh?
You ever jam a finger or two? That's the.
I can't even show you because I got one. I did one. Oh, that's another story. I played ball and
Oh, man.
I wasn't even like, the ball came and it actually broke the finger.
Oh, my God.
And I was even like,
Man.
and I didn't do nothing with it
Man,
because
I got a funny wrestling story. I did wrestling in high school for like about 2 months. We went to our first meet, and I was wrestling some kid, and this is definitely against the rules because you're not supposed to pick people up, and it must be a football player or something. We're like squaring off.
yeah.
He charges at me, he picks me up, and just keeps running, like runs out of like bounds
Tossed
and
you.
rams me like into
Ooh.
like the bleachers.
Get out.
Why?
No, I'm dead
What?
serious. Like I'm dead serious. I don't know what he was thinking.
You didn't go back after that, right?
No.
Okay, good.
I literally went home. I was like, this is not for me. I told the coach, I'm like, nah,
Oh.
I'm out. I'm going back to the drawing board or the writing board.
Trizzy.
Writing book, yeah.
So you see, brings out Trizzy the wrestler. How long did you wrestle for?
Good, maybe like 2 months.
Yeah.
2 months.
2 months,
I know,
and then-
I know a thing or two, a couple little,
All right.
little takedowns, but
Yeah,
nothing
that's a little
too
scary.
crazy. Never really locked in.
Yeah. Any other sports that we should know about?
Basketball, I played I got this actually a couple
Hey.
days ago from playing basketball.
Congrats! You got a gangster mark.
There you go. Got a battle scar.
What
Battle
are you,
scar.
gangster? What are you talking about? A
No,
gang?
okay, disclaimer.
Yeah,
You want to see a
battle.
gangster mark? No.
Disclaimer, gangster mark used to, when I was a kid, my mom, if I got hurt, I would cry and my mom would be like, yo, you look so cool, it's a gangster mark. And I'd just be like, all right, this is cool, this is nice. That's why I say it. My bad. Shout outs to my mom.
I got
Hey,
it. I got it.
that's one way to-
Hold
that's
on.
one
I
way to
got.
deal
You know,
with
I got my kid over there talking about gangster mark. So if he gets a boo boo and he comes back and says, "Well, it's a gangster mark," I'm gonna say, "Hey."
My bad.
No,
Yo, I
but
got a gangster mark at school today. Like,
Or like,
this is what real talk is descended into. We're talking about gangster marks, right? All because
that doesn't look good.
you know what? Is that why it's real talk, though?
Exactly.
All right.
On that note, though, writing was your outlet. Coming back to that, that's a really healthy outlet. Was there any, and you, of course, you don't have to answer, but did you ever have any unhealthy coping mechanisms? I know I have. Mine was
Yeah.
And
working
it's real
out.
talk, so talk
Definitely
about it. Talk
Yeah.
about it. Talk about it.
Real
Let's hear
talk.
it.
Because life wasn't easy,
No.
right? So
definitely not. I definitely struggled with like whether it's substances and things like that. I don't know if I can really. Can I?
No,
can I talk
yeah,
about-
you know
probably
what?
Not. But like,
and this is good.
yeah.
And you know what? It's good to
I've
have.
definitely had unhealthier outlets than writing and things like that, but I always just found that writing was the one that actually helped, because I think everything else you think it helps,
and then it makes you
But
feel
it-
worse after.
not only does it make you feel worse after, but it's like you're not actually addressing an issue. You know what I mean? You're kind of trying to like run away from it. So it's like, at least with like writing, it's like I had to face it, you know, rather instead of trying to like push it off to the side because it never really goes away, you know.
So how are you able to have these internal conversations? Because it's not all, there are not a lot of times where you hear somebody says, "Well, I got into this." But I was able to actually talk to myself and say, okay, I've got this thing on the side. So you've got the addiction, you got the path to addiction, because I'm going to say it wasn't full addiction, but the path, right?
Yeah.
And then you got this path on writing, but you're mentally focused enough to say, hey, I'm not going to travel down this path. I'm going to go this path.
Right.
Was it just straight because of the writing? Was there any other influences?
I like to think, I mean, I've always been like a creative, you know, and I've always found that as a way to just express myself. Like before I even made music, I made like YouTube videos playing games, and I guess that was my first like instance of me talking to myself, because you'd have the camera on and then you'd be like playing the game and you'd be like, "What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another video," and you have to like keep talking to like keep everybody engaged. So I guess I was like, I've always been like kind of talking to myself a little bit. Maybe I'm crazy, but or having little conversations and stuff, and I guess it just kind of made it easy to like sit down and just figure it out. Because I feel like sometimes, you know, like sometimes you can't really talk to everybody, you know. Some certain things, you know, it's internal conversations, and having that, you know, being able to do that, I think it's beneficial sometimes.
Especially being young though, like weighing the pros and cons, and not really knowing like what is right and what is wrong, you know what I mean? Like everyone around me smoked cigarettes, so I started smoking cigarettes.
Right.
And then I realized, oh my God, this is actually, I'm not feeling great, but I'm doing it because now I'm kind of addicted. It's habitual, right?
Right.
I didn't really, it took me a while to know how to like tell myself this is not good, and even though I'm craving it, like I'm gonna stop.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You actively pulled yourself out of situations, I believe.
Yeah, I feel like it's like an ongoing battle, you know?
Yeah.
But yeah, I think it's just a matter of having those healthy outlets too, because it's like we're not perfect, you know, but at the same time it's like I think if you have like a positive outlet, that good thing to kind of always go back to, it kind of keeps you grounded, you know, keeps you grounded in a way. That's kind of how I think.
And so it kind of goes back to when I said the separation, and tell me things about young Trizzy and Trizzy, right? And there you're talking about the, you know, how you could have gone this path, and so is that, would I call that a young Trizzy moment, and the path that you're on now is really the Trizzy moment?
Yeah, I feel like I've always been Trizzy, but young Trizzy was trying everything, going where the wind took him, you know, and kind of just learning from there. But and then I kind of learned. That taught me what I liked, what I didn't like, where I wanted to be, where I didn't want to be, and yeah, now Trizzy, knowing, I guess, a bit more where he wants to go and things like that, I'm moving myself into those directions instead of just going here, going there, you know? I'd say that.
So I'm gonna get into a little young Trizzy. Give me a couple lines of something that young Trizzy wrote.
Okay, what'd I say? I get it, I'm swerving through all of this traffic. I leave him beheaded, I'm chasing the bread and talk down in us, we might wreak havoc. Went from nothing to something, a youngin' just stunting, I'm going good, can't get distracted. I be smoking that, got me high as a cloud, I stay chill while you're overreacting. That was like my first song.
All right, so we're gonna hold that. Yeah, we're gonna hold that young.
That's the one I messed up at the talent show.
That's the one you messed up at?
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Right. We got a track that I know we're gonna play later on, and that's is that a real nice Trizzy track?
That's a Trizzy track.
All right, so people, we gotta not yet. I see. I gotta say big shouts to my guy Jam. He's like, yeah, we're gonna play this this Trizzy track, but we're gonna do that at the end, right? I just wanted to hear something that you created as young Trizzy, you know, and it further illustrates the fact that you're on this path over here. We're gonna call this the experimental stage, right? And this path over here is where you're like, yeah, I'm figuring this stuff out, and this is where I'm going with my life. You're a student.
Yes.
You're a student.
I forgot about that.
Fanshawe Falcon.
And it's and it's kind of going to contradict some because you said I'm not that book
Oh,
guy,
yeah.
right? But you're putting it aside because how long have you been a student?
I've been a student, so this is my second year at Fanshawe, but the program I'm in is a level 1 program, so it's 8-month program, and then ideally I want to go into the social work program after that.
Yeah, but hang on for a minute. I'm going to get there, right?
All right.
Take me through your first year at Fanshawe.
Oh boy, okay.
Yeah,
First year
I
at Fanshawe, it was an adjustment, that's for sure, like with the workload and everything, because especially, I don't know, like, because when I was in high school, we had like COVID, right? COVID hit like grade 10 of, I remember we had the March break that like never ended. We had like a March break that never ended, and then we didn't go back till like halfway through grade 12. So I missed like so much of high school. I kind of just coasted through and just like, because when COVID happened, like whatever your mark was stayed the same. So if you were passing, you literally didn't have to do any work. So I kind of just coasted through high school and just thought that would get me through college. First semester hits.
Not the same.
Yeah, not the same. Can't quite coast through it. But one thing though, the people, like just being around the people and just the faculty and everything is definitely motivating, and it definitely like it makes you want to pursue it further, you know, and like keep learning and keep it up. So definitely had a bit of trouble semester 1, and then semester 2 picked it back up. So now it's just now I'm back doing it right this time, you know.
Nice.
So
Why social work?
why social work? I guess kind of going back to what I was saying earlier, I've always been like wanting to be support, and I wanted to help people, whether it's directly like family wise or in the community. And I feel like that would be a good way to, because I've had my fair share of interactions with CAS and social workers and stuff, and I understand that there's like a sort of stigma with social workers in a way, where it's like, I don't know, me being a kid, like I've had the social worker or two come through, and it's like, I don't know, I never really liked I was never like, yay, the social worker's here, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, but I understand the responsibility and like the importance of their
What they
role
do.
in like, especially in like in a vulnerable child's situation. So I feel like coupled with my life experience and just my wanting to pursue it, I feel like I could be like an outlier, you know, in it.
Makes
I don't know.
sense. Yeah.
That's kind of how I feel.
Yeah.
I kind of want to change that stigma, because I know that there's a lot of good work that they do, and the cause is good. I just feel like sometimes it's not the best people doing it. So
You know, you're gonna go on that path, and being a.
but I'm not gonna lie, the music. Yo, I'm not gonna lie. This music's where I'm putting most of my chips, to be honest. So
Right, but you still realize that there's a path you want to go, and in case the music doesn't, right? And that's not to say you're not going to, but just in case you have that backup, right? Do you interact with a lot of other hip hop artists,
yes,
right?
especially at shows and events and things like that. Most definitely.
The path you're taking and having that backup, do you see that with your other peers?
Yes, like contemporaries in music.
Yeah,
and things
your
like that?
Okay, your contemporaries.
Okay.
Shouldn't even say your peers, your contemporaries.
No worries. I'd say like yes and no. A lot of them have their own things in life going on outside of the music, but the music is it's almost like all of our passion. We all really want to do the music, but we also understand in like this like economy, and just, you know, I can't just sit at home making music all day. Like I gotta pay bills. I'm not young Trizzy no more. I'm Trizzy with car insurance and things like that, right?
Trizzy with bills.
Trizzy with bills.
That's
so.
the difference.
Yes, that's another difference between young Trizzy and
Exactly.
Trizzy. Trizzy got bills, right? How do you describe the hip hop scene in London?
The hip hop scene in London it's definitely alive and well. There is a lot of phenomenal artists out there right now doing their thing, and it keeps me on my toes and keeps me motivating, wanting to perfect my craft and sharpen my sword, you know. But I'm not too worried about anybody really. I'm not.
Nah, no, this is not about.
We're not competing. We're not comparing.
It's not about. And I didn't mean it in terms of being competitive or not. I just wanted to know to get an idea what the sense of the hip hop scene from your point of view. Are you getting the support that you think you're getting? And I'm not just talking your manager. I'm talking the scene on a whole. Do you see progress? Right? Do you ever talk to some of the older heads?
Okay, most definitely. I've seen, especially comparing it to when I was first starting out, like around that time I did the talent shows, probably about like 4 years ago. Comparing then to now with all the, I feel like there's a lot more opportunities for artists to whether events going on or people in the scene. Like there's a lot more opportunities for artists to really get out there and make a name for themselves. And the scene is super supportive too. Everybody that I've come into contact with, as much as I was being a little competitive back there, everybody just wants each other to win, you know, and I feel like it's the art first we all really care about, whether it's the OGs, whether it's the us new cats, you know what I mean? I feel like as long as like the art and the music is the focus, then we're all kind of on the same page.
Have you ever had a mentor?
Have you ever had a mentor? Yeah, most definitely.
Okay. No, you don't have a mentor anymore.
Maybe, not anymore. I wouldn't say like not like probably not anymore. I feel like just mentor is a hard word. Maybe only person I could think of is jamming, but
okay. But like someone in your field to guide you, right? Aside from your manager,
Right.
no one in particular.
well,
No shout outs.
well, shout out to my stepdad, Sonny. He was in the music scene actually too for a little bit, like when he was younger and stuff.
Okay.
That's how he actually Jamin's familiar with them.
Right.
And it's kind of a cool little full circle moment because he's always kept me like, this is something you want, right? So what are you doing? Go to the studio, or like what are you doing? Like he always keeps me like motivating, keeps me on my toes. So that's something I could shout out for sure.
Your parents are like your biggest supporters, eh?
Most definitely.
That's
My parents are
awesome.
super supportive of it, and that's I got nothing but gratitude for that.
Yeah.
Because if it wasn't that way, I'm sure
Things could have gone.
things could have gone another way.
Yeah.
Most definitely.
Favorite hip hop artist?
Favorite hip hop artist. So I gotta give a shout out to the late great MF Doom.
Hey,
MF Doom?
Yes.
Rap
Okay.
snitches, telling all their business. Alright, no, I'm about to go on.
I loved it though. Yeah, MF Doom.
I
got a question.
You know,
Don't say Drake first, Kendrick. No.
So he asked about the London scene. How's the music like that? How is the music like here? Where would be the first place you would take your music outside of Canada?
Outside of Canada?
in Canada too. Just let me hear.
Okay, okay, anywhere.
I want to hear outside of Canada, but I also want to hear inside of Canada.
I'm looking to make my way up to Toronto soon and do a couple shows up there because I've only done shows in London to be honest so far. So the next step is Toronto for sure, and I'm trying to take this all around the world. To be honest, that's where I see it. London, UK,
Yeah.
From London to London.
Wow.
I'm trying to take it across the world.
You do give me like UK rapper vibes, almost, but different, but very different. But like kind of like Central C-ish, but not really. Definitely not really. But like I could see you taking your music there.
Thank you.
Central C is amazing. Central C is amazing.
Man, when you get on that UK vibe, I'm on a Chase and Stratus kind of deal. So that's more dub and all that stuff. Chase and Stratus is just a different. I'm on that grime. Got introduced it to big shouts to Twizzler Roots. Yeah,
Twizzler Roots?
yeah. He's been on the podcast. I gotta bring him back, but I'm more on that grime, that tip, right?
Okay.
So
Like
big shouts to
Dizzy Rascal and stuff.
Oh,
Got it? Dizzy.
see, that's where
Come on.
that's where Dizzy's been. But you got to check out Chase and Stratus, right?
Jason Stratus.
Chase and Stratus. They-
Chase and Stratus. Okay.
Chase and Status. Let me get that right.
Jason Status. Okay.
Chase and Status.
Got you.
Wicked group.
Okay.
Yeah, so that's where I'm going when I go on the UK vibe, right? It's not the traditional hip hop.
They got some
vibe.
crazy lines. They got some crazy little one-liners in their songs. It's so funny.
Yeah.
I gotta look them up.
You got you know what? I'm gonna introduce Battle to Chase and Stratus. Go look them up, right? I played this song, and you know what? I'm gonna stop with my Chase and Stratus. I keep to my London
It's your London Trizzy.
London, Ontario.
We're in London, Ontario. Now,
No,
real talk.
Real talk in London, Ontario. If you had to interview or talk to another artist here in London, who would it be? Whose story would you,
Be interested in.
if you're in this seat right here, whose story would you get?
I gotta give a shout out to my man Kodo for the tribe. Like those guys, they're definitely some people that are taking it to that next level, you know. And that's somebody who I'd love to sit down and have a chat with, you know. Shout out to Kodo, but
Kodo.
Kodo and
out too.
See, you're introducing some stuff to,
There you
and
go.
even me too, right? Because
yeah, Kodo and for the tribe, yo, look them up. They're some of the sickest in the city, for sure.
I'm going to, because in the next little bit, off and on, we're gonna cover some ground in music. We just want to talk to everybody, right?
Right.
This is the focus of Real Talk. As we move forward, we're going to talk to businesses, we're going to talk to our artists, we're just going to talk to everybody. And big shouts to the Finesse I got also, because he was
wanna
like,
see
Yes,
it.
yeah,
Finesse.
I gotta get him back on here.
Yeah, I got it, because he's actually, there are a couple of shows that, there are a couple of episodes that he's been actually a host on, right? So
Okay.
we haven't talked to him in a minute. We're gonna bring him back.
Big
and-
shout outs to Finesse. He's super dope.
And you know, always, and I'm gonna do it again. James, I get to call it out. This is an in studio. this is an in studio shout out.
Yes.
Jay Jammin.
Jammin'.
Come
Yeah.
on, big shout out to Jammin' and the network. Come on.
Now, since we're shouting out Jammin, right?
Yes.
I want you to tell me what's the biggest area you think he's helped you in?
Biggest area he's helped me in is, I'll definitely say, I feel like, I guess if we're gonna be like technical with terms, I feel like artist development maybe, because I feel like he's helping me come into myself, you know, and assure me that, you know, this is something that I can do.
Yeah.
There's real progress that we can make, you know, and there's like it's good to be a part of a team, you know, and somebody who believes in me like that, you know, keeps me motivated on my toes. And you guys are gonna hear the new track. It's just a taste of
it
what's to
about
come.
that time?
Just a taste of what's to
don't
come.
hold it
Not
tight, because
yet.
I still got another.
Okay.
Hold on, let me look at. Oh, it's not. But for an artist coming up behind you, right? What's the biggest thing that you would tell an artist coming up?
Have a team, have support. You know, whether it doesn't have to be your best friend. It doesn't have to be, you know, somebody who's educated, knowledgeable, and, you know, who believes in you. That's having a support and having that team, having that support.
Yeah,
I'd say that's the biggest thing, because, you know, it's hard to, as much as it's easy to do things, like we can do things on our own, but 4 hands are better than 2. You know what I mean? 2 brains are better than 1.
Can't build a building
You know?
with one person.
Exactly.
Best song that you ever made?
Best song that I ever made?
Yeah, best song. What's your favorite track that when you were writing, you're like, you know, you wrote and then you looked at it and you said, yeah, this is the one.
Like, you're just proud.
Okay, a track I have to say Spirit Bomb. It's the outro track to my mixtape.
Spirit Bomb?
All right,
Love
give me the PG version of it.
All right, come on. I said, this one for the family. Found ways to express myself. They finally understanding me. All that I've been planning turned to everything I planned to be. Dreams are coming true, this ain't no fantasy. Mans used to hate, now they fans, and I see them in the stands for me. Couldn't get a dap, but when I'm winning, they all want to clap their hands for me. Seems like everybody changed so randomly. Yeah, that's all I'm gonna give you.
And isn't that like the classic, when I say the classic hip hop talk, and when I say that, I mean in how people have looked at you and when they come aboard and when they jump on your bandwagon and stuff, right?
Yes.
And that's where it went. We got this track, and we're gonna play it. So people gonna go out. We're gonna go out, and this is the first time we've done this, right? So,
Okay.
you know what? I'm gonna say you're breaking ground for us, because
Whew. It's an honor.
yeah, you know, it's probably the second interview or the second podcast that we've ever had where people actually no, I'm gonna say because we did one with Melissa and I'm gonna get in it, but where we had somebody and they just got into certain things and they expressed themselves the way we want to, and I'm gonna thank you for that, right? We got this track. I'm gonna talk about some stuff, so I'm gonna pull up my phone and talk about some upcoming events just before we, just before we
100%.
hear that track. And you know what? I can't even get it but I'm going to say October, is it 26th? Is it October 26th? Harvest of Hope, October 26th. And I'm going there first because it's an event that I'm playing for. Big shouts once again to Liz and the Educate the Children team. It's $80 a ticket. It's at St. Justin's Church. Doors open at 5:30. The event itself starts at 6:30. Come and support. This Saturday, Hellenic Center for Cystic Fibrosis. It's a $60 ticket. Big shouts to Lady Al and myself. We're going to be there. Got to talk about the charities and all that because they're a big part of our community. Yes. People, if you know anything, let us know because we'll always shout it out. Once again, I want to thank your manager for jamming.
Big jamming.
Yeah, we saying it loud, people, because he's in the studio, so we got to let him feel that loud.
Shout out jamming. Shout out the network. Shout out Azzy the Finesser. Come on, the whole team, we're here.
Yes. And Vanessa, we coming for you, so make sure you get your, and I hope you watch and I hope you're hearing. And the track, are we ready? Are we ready with the track? Is that track ready? Everybody, this is a weekly podcast. We're going to be back next week.
Do you think I can say something real quick before we wrap it up? Okay, well, just one thing I want to let you guys know. If you guys are interested in seeing your boy live, seeing Trizzy live, I will be at the Western Fair performing on the 14th. That's to be this Saturday at the Western Fair from starting at 1 o'clock roughly. So just be there. You get to see your boy live and see me do what I do best. So just wanted to get that quick plug in there.
Once again, Western Fair, what time?
Western Fair, 1 o'clock at September 14th, Saturday. Be there. And
right, and you know what? After that, they can come down. You can go watch Trizzy and then come down and get me at the Hellenic Center. Supporting, and so that's it. And then Sunday, the last thing I'm gonna plug, Denise Pelly, Sunday at Fanshawe Pioneer Village. Cost is $20 and it's 2 p.m. And we got Trizzy. I was about to say but no more young Trizzy. I gotta wipe that out.
He got bills now.
Yeah, Trizzy got bills.
We got tuition. We got it. Come on. Oh my God.
I will say next week and we'll take you in. We'll take you to the track. Let the track go.
Big shout out to DJ Shore Ray for producing the track. And Jelly for engineering. Come on.
I ain't trying, I just do it. Telling every county my money gets moving. Wait, you better move it if you ain't thinking about improving. Cause me and my team need to see this at the table. Anything else is a fable. Fairy tale, myth, get busted. People say maybe my uncle should quit all the ruckus. Just like the flow was disgusting. So sick, somebody get him a potion. Spill like freezer bro, coldest. You on the throne, overthrow it. Way before the forward, I was focused. Knew I had to man up, but my mama got the notice. 15, got a job, even back then I had motion. Now we floating, elevating, authenticity prevails. I'll be an example and demonstrate it. I ain't trying, I just do it. I ain't trying, I just do it. Telling that cow, use my mind and get to moving. Wait, you better move it if you ain't thinking about improving. Cause me and my team need to see this at the table. Anything else is a fable. I ain't trying, I just do it. I ain't trying, I just do it. Telling that cow, use my mind and get to moving. Wait, you better move it if you ain't thinking about improving. Cause me and my team need to see this at the table. Anything else is a fable. The flower got me spitting fire. Tell me who you know is hot as this. Yeah, we turning up the temperature. Hands that go up when we dropping this. Green light, you ain't stopping this. Hitting my shots with precision. Need a prize, my eyes are locked in it. You see any other decision? Way before the forward, I was focused. Knew I had to man up, but my mama got the notice. 15, got a job. Even back then, I had motion. Now we floating, elevating. Authenticity prevails. Wait, I'll be an example and demonstrate it. I ain't trying, I just do it. I ain't trying, I just do it. Telling Eddie how use my mind to get to moving. Wait, you better move it if you ain't thinking about improving. Cause me and my team need to see this at the table. Anything else is a fable. I ain't trying, I just do it. I ain't trying, I just do it. Telling Eddie I use my mind to get to moving. Wait, you better move it if you ain't thinking about improving. Cause me and my team need to sit at the table. Anything else is a fable.